following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, if we talk about that one.
And
It's Lincoln County.
also, Loretto travels to Mount Pleasant. Independence hosts Nolensville. Spring Hill takes on visiting Page. Columbia Central is at the Hardy Lloyd Gymnasium against Ravenwood. And Richland travels to Santa Fe. Number 4 on the boys' side, Santa Fe.
Going to be a good one. In NCAA men's action, number 22 Tennessee hosting Texas A&M. 6 p.m. tip on SEC Network. At 8 p.m. on ESPN, top-ranked Auburn hosting
Unranked
Alabama in the Iron Bowl of basketball.
Depends on who you ask.
Depends on who you ask. That's right. In the NHL action, the Preds tonight at home at Bridgestone against the Vancouver Canucks. That's a 7 p.m. puck drop and should be seen on Valley Sports South, but who knows? That's going to do it. That's today's rundown. We have our opening tip today, and it's a pretty good story, and we'll give you the headline and tell you that we'll talk about it a little bit later in the show. So, the headline.
The Lakers' longtime coach, Jerry Buss, promised lifetime season tickets to the logo, Jerry West. Apparently, sometime here in the last year, those season tickets were revoked.
Revoked?
Jerry West no longer has season tickets to LA Laker home games. Jerry West.
He's literally in the logo. He should be able to go to any game
anywhere. But
he's literally the logo.
But not the Lakers, apparently.
Well, let's get into that a little later. What do you say? Before we do that, though, we'll go down to the high school ranks, and we will talk to Tommy Bryan, who will join us on the other side of a break. Looking forward to talking with Tommy, the also Hall of Famer. We'll get with him on the other side of this break, so please stick around here from the Lee Company studio. We will be back on Main Street Sports today. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in. It is the Tuesday edition, Top 5 Tuesday, if you will, here of Main Street Sports today, and we are glad that you are joining us here for some high school hoops talk. Like I said, plenty of great action tonight here in southern Middle Tennessee, but if you go a little farther, a little northeast, you will find one of the best girls basketball games of the evening, and that is when the Devilettes of Lebanon take on the undefeated and second-ranked Cookeville. Or the
Lady Cavaliers.
Gotcha.
Yes. Cookeville's Lady Cavaliers, number 2 in the state in Class 4A. They are 23-0. Lebanon's Devilettes 20-5. They come in at number 8, up a spot from last week's Associated Press top 10 ranking in Class 4A, and the 2021 Class 3A state runners up, I believe. Tommy Bryan of the Wilson Post will correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but Tommy, regardless, should be a pretty good one tonight.
Mo, we're looking for a good crowd. It's a pink out night, excuse me, at Lebanon High. There's a good crowd going to be on hand. Lebanon and Cookeville, years ago, this was a pretty good rivalry. And then they got separated by the districts, and now with the 4 classifications, they're in there together. Lebanon went to Cookville earlier this season, lost by 5, lost in a game that Lebanon got behind, had to extend a lot of energy to try to get back in the game. And Corey Barrett's kind of been pointing at this one as one that his basketball team can make a statement. You know, they had a pretty easy time Friday night against an outmanned Wilson Central team. Of the 5 losses Lebanon has, they've got them to some pretty good people. And then Cookville, undefeated, 23-0. They're certainly a quality basketball team. KK Graves, a great player. Bailey Gillies plays a guard spot for them. Ought to be a rock'em sock'em basketball game tonight at 6 o'clock at Campbell Brandon Gymnasium.
And, Tommy, you talked about these two used to be in the same district back in the day. It was 7 AAA with those two in White County and Oakland, Riverdale, and who am I leaving out there? Warren County. So
Warren County. That was every night was pretty tough in that league.
A little travel involved in that one as well. Things have gotten a little bit closer, but yeah, there's like you said, certainly some history here as Lebanon and Cookville get ready to tip it off at 6 o'clock tonight over in Lebanon. And you mentioned Corey Barrett, and the job that he's done at Lebanon in a pretty short period of time has been pretty impressive, Tommy.
Well, 3 straight trips to the state tournament. Last year, a runner-up. The year before, they won their first round game, and then everything after that was shut down after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Lebanon felt like they had a pretty good shot to get to the finals, 2 years ago. So Corey has certainly gotten the program back to where it used to be in the glory days. He's got a small group of seniors, but they're good kids. Miyoshi Mason, a 6'3" post, already signed at Middle Tennessee State. Asia Barr and Terry Reynolds play the guard spot. They're both athletic, can shoot the basketball, and here's the number for you. They came up with 24 steals against Wilson Central on Friday night. That's the way they play defense. They're always in the passing lane, anticipating that next pass.
24 steals.
Yeah, they average 8.5 a game, Mo. If you can if you can force 8 turnovers a game just on steals, forcing them, that's
just steals.
Yeah, that's not unforced turnovers.
Yeah,
that's not steals. Anything.
Yeah,
that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think it was 33. I think it was 33 turnovers all told against Wilson Central Friday night, which resulted in about 26, 27 transition points for Lebanon. And when they're rocking and rolling like that, running up and down the floor, they can be pretty hard to handle. So, this ought to be, again, it's billed as a matchup of a couple of top 10 teams. I know our Main Street Prep poll has got Cookville number 4 and Lebanon number 8. Certainly 2 top 10 teams in anybody's book, and it ought to be a lot of fun.
You mentioned Terry and Asia, and you'll have to say Mason's first name. Miyoshi. But also, Finley Tomlin rounds out the 4 players that they have that average double figures. So 4 players in double figures. That's a good way to win basketball games.
Yeah, Finley got a lot of playing time last year as a sophomore. She's a junior point guard. She was not able to play against Wilson Central. She was a little under the weather. But
doesn't sound like you needed her.
Pretty much all. Well, she's kind of a facilitator, and if people drop off, she'll nail the 3. And she's not a big, strong kid, but she knows how to attack the basket, and she is one who has played at a very high level of travel ball in the off season, and it has really helped her. They'll be glad to get her back in the lineup tonight.
So what you're saying is As bad as it was Friday night, it could have been worse.
Yeah, Corey pulled off and played the Scrubbies. Well, they held Wilson Central scoreless in the fourth quarter. It was 55-13 in the final, and they held them scoreless. They never got double digits in any quarter. And Lebanon emptied the bench, early in the second half. So Central struggling with the split with Green Hill opening up, and Mount Juliet is hurting. Central is hurting. Green Hill has struggled at times this year. So it's the two best teams in this district without question, Cookeville and Lebanon, and we'll see how that thing rolls tonight.
Obviously the girls' game in this doubleheader is the headliner, but on the boys' side, Lebanon comes in ranked number 8 in the state in the Associated Press 4A poll. They're 20-4, and got a couple of big-time players. I think one of them, when we spoke yesterday, you were telling me would still be sidelined for this one tonight. Is that right?
Yeah. Jared Hall, 6'8" junior forward, has got a lot of Power 5 offers. He's out. He got involved in an altercation against Green Hill back earlier this month. So he will be eligible to come back from a 4-game suspension on Friday when Lebanon plays at home against Green Hill. But the last time he played against Cookeville, he had 34 points against those guys in an 83-81 game in Cookeville. So, again, Jared's not available. Yaron Alexander has kind of stepped in. Yaron has been a part of a pretty good 1-2 punch for Lebanon. Yaron's a 6'6" senior wingman. He had 26 against Wilson Central. Lebanon scored, let me get this right, Lebanon scored 45 points, and Yaron had 26 in that game. They did a lot of clearing out and going to him, 10, 12 feet, letting him operate. And he responded with a really good game. Yaron's capable of putting the thing in the hole. He can really score. And when those two are together, Lebanon's able to do a lot of the big man trap, backcourt, half-court trap. Both those guys, mobile and wingspans like airplanes. And it makes it hard to go guard to guard against Lebanon when they're in the game together. But they won't be tonight. Yaron's going to have another good effort this evening.
And clearly, Cookeville feelings won't be hurt that Jared isn't playing in this one. Like you said, they lost 83-81 at home to the Blue Devils with Hall in there. But they have lost, 2, 4, 5 of their last 7 Cookeville has. They're sitting at 12-13 overall, 2-3 in district action. So I would imagine they think, especially without Hall, this is one they can get.
Oh yeah, and I'm anxious to talk to some of my buddies in Cookeville and find out about the Hurd family tree, because I look at their roster, Mo, and there's 4 guys on the playing roster with last name Hurd, H-E-A-R-D, and the head coach Josh Hurd. So I know there's some cousins involved in there, but all those guys can play.
Sounds like the Harpers in Trousdale.
Yeah. Instead of shoulder pads and headgear, they've got sneakers and sweatbands.
There you go. Tommy Bryan of the Wilson Post. Oh, I almost said Wilson World, Tommy. Sorry about that. With us here on Main Street Sports today, giving us the lowdown on this Lebanon-Cookeville doubleheader coming up tonight at Campbell Brandon Gym, starting with the girls. Again, Cookeville coming in undefeated, number 2 in the state, Lebanon at number 8. Looking forward to hearing about this one, and tell folks how they can keep up with you and that game, Tommy.
Well, TB Sports 85 is my Twitter handle, at TB Sports 85. That's an easy way to keep up with it. And as it happens, the game will be broadcast tonight on Lebanon High's YouTube channel. It's called Lebanon High School Blue Devil News. It's a free YouTube broadcast. They've got a student audio visual, I don't know what they call it, but they operate cameras and They've got switchers and multiple camera setups, and they've got some old guy doing the play-by-play on that thing tonight, which would be me. They couldn't find anybody else. They got all these kids that want to be, behind the camera and handle the all the shots and running cable and things like that, but they couldn't get anybody that was really interested in doing play-by-play. So it's fallen to me to help out tonight.
Well, I'm sure you will do it justice. It's going to be a really good one, a couple of really good basketball games tonight. So, again, we are certainly looking forward to it. Tommy, thanks for taking some time with us today. As always, we appreciate it, and we look forward to it. I'm sure we can find a game story afterwards at mainstreetpreps.com.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Always good talking to you.
Appreciate you, TB.
The NFL coaching hires have been something. We did get some confirmation today of a question we had yesterday, Mo. Speaking of TBs, TB12 instead of TB85.
Yeah.
Confirmed some things. But, so we're going to talk about the NFL on the other side of the break. Stay with us here on Main Street Sports today. We'll be right back to the Lee Company studio after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org, or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back into this Top 5 Tuesday edition, Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. We are live from the Lee Company studio, and we are glad to be doing exactly what we said we would do every single day, bring you the most timely and comprehensive coverage of high school, college, and pro sports from around the Middle Tennessee and entire country. Today, Tom Brady did announce that he is officially retiring, and, well, NBC New York.
This is pretty high level shade right here. I got to give it to him.
Well, I would certainly say it's a level of petty to which I aspire,
Work.
and there's no question here. NBC New York on Twitter tweets, breaking: Tom Brady, who lost 2 Super Bowls to the Giants during his legendary 22-year career, officially retires. So, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty impressive, if we're being honest.
That's solid.
So, yeah, I'm not even mad at him. I'm here for that.
They're not going to acknowledge the 71.
No, and why should they?
That's funny.
It really is. What's not funny is the way the NFL coaching searches are going, because they are just getting nuts at this point. I've got thoughts, but nonetheless, let's go through them. I think you've got them written down.
I do have them written down. So there are 8 openings, or we started with 8 openings, or we got to 8 openings.
Was it 8 or 9?
It's 9. You're right. It's 9 because New Orleans made it 9. So we started out. Vegas had an interim.
Correct.
Because they made a coaching change during the season, as did Jacksonville. Then we had come open Denver, Chicago, Miami, Houston, the Giants, and Minnesota. And then obviously with Sean Payton stepping down in New Orleans last week, that gets us to 9. So 9 NFL teams as of right now are set to go into the 2022 regular season with new coaches. 4 of those have been announced. Go ahead.
I'm just curious if Sean Payton said, you know what, I don't want to have to hear the heckling that I'm going to take for Kevin James playing me in a biopic. So I'm just going to dip out for
Can't imagine he signed off on that, but Anyway. So both the AFC West coaching openings have been filled. Denver with Nathaniel Hackett, former OC at Green Bay. Vegas with Josh McDaniels.
Is that official? I still don't think it's official.
It may not be official. Denver may not have announced it.
No, I'm talking about the Raiders.
I'm sorry. Denver,
Gotcha.
because that's where he had been. Yeah.
Yes.
No, the Raiders may not have announced that. That might not be official.
But it's all but. I mean, according to everything I've read, most everybody, basically, even the other people who are involved in the search, the other coaches who are up for it, believe McDaniels is going to get it. So we might as well just say Josh McDaniels to the Raiders for the purposes of this particular discussion.
Well, Raiders announced Josh McDaniels as next head coach was on Raiders.com yesterday.
Okay.
So that's pretty official.
I'd say so.
They announced it during a press conference yesterday.
Okay.
13 seasons as the Patriots OC. Also served as the Denver Broncos head coach from 09 to 10. I don't think those were 2 full seasons, were they?
I don't think 10 was.
I don't think, yeah. So there's that. Chicago hires Matt Eberflus, former defensive coordinator for Indianapolis, and the Giants hired your boy, former Alabama. What was he? Analyst? Was he OC?
No, he was the offensive coordinator, and boy, they did not like him. They liked him about as much as they liked Bill O'Brien, fans wise.
Most recently, he was OC at Buffalo, which, unless he's taken Josh Allen with him.
Josh Allen to Daniel Jones is poor.
I'm not sure that's a plug and play situation there. So
I don't know if you had a chance to see his first press conference, but it was truly remarkable. I mean, seriously.
I saw the video of him getting out of his truck, his dirty truck. I mean, if they were going to do that, they could have at least tipped dude, hey, get your truck detailed before you come through here, because,
I think that's part of it. It's the working man.
Okay. So instead of that leather briefcase he got out with, he should have got out with a lunch pail then.
Yeah,
huh?
probably.
Getting back to work.
Wouldn't that have been fun?
Okay. And that $600 suit or whatever he wore with those pants were struggling. But anyway,
there was a guy who a media member who clearly from Brooklyn. I mean, pretty obvious. And Daboll was like, "Where are you from? South Carolina?" And the guy was like, "No, I'm from Brooklyn." He's like, "Yeah, I got that." It was so good. It was great.
At any rate, so we still got 5 openings. Jacksonville, Minnesota, Houston, Miami, and the Saints. Saints far and away the best situation of any of those, in my opinion.
I think Miami's a pretty good situation. I think Miami's probably a better situation than New Orleans, because I just don't know what New Orleans has outside of, maybe 2 or 3 offensive playmakers. Kamara, Winston, and Thomas.
They're pretty solid in the front 7. Marcus Davenport is back.
They'll be okay defensively. What I'm concerned here about is how Brian Flores doesn't have a job is beyond me. He should have been the first person hired by somebody.
Yeah, well, I'm not wanting to get into that at this time.
I can't understand how he lost his job, but now he doesn't have one.
JP's got something to say, I think.
I don't think I heard you guys mention this. Harbaugh is scheduled for a second interview tomorrow with the Vikings.
On National Signing Day, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not that's a sign.
Although
that's got to be a sign, doesn't it?
I don't think Michigan has anybody really to sign tomorrow, but still, the optics are not great.
Sign.
I guess maybe they signed they pulled a Pat Summitt. If they don't sign in December, they're not signing.
Yeah.
Still, it's interesting.
Yep. But
we will continue to keep an eye on the NFL coaching carousel as we go.
That we will. Halftime coming up here on Main Street Sports Today. Y'all stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org, or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today, or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
JP coming through with the really interesting news of, I guess, the week for now.
Yeah. And it's old news, but it's new to us.
Yeah, it is old news.
JP, tell us how you came about this.
what's that? Jim Harbaugh?
Nance.
No.
Huh?
Jim Nance.
Jim.
Jim
It's
Nance?
halftime, bro.
Heard it on the Dan Patrick Show
Last week?
He was on, and of course talking about the Chiefs and the Bills game that he and Tony Romo called, and he was talking about the travel time from his Pebble Beach home, out in California in the Bay Area, and he said he and his family have relocated for a majority of the year to Nashville, to Music City, centrally located. You can get almost anywhere in 2.5 hours flight that he would need to go. aside from the left coast, which aren't that many games. So, yeah, Jim Nance has moved to Nashville. He can get to Augusta pretty quick, too.
It's a little faster.
By the way, this past weekend with the AFC Championship game, Kansas City, he did the golf tournament down at Torrey Pines from the Kansas City Chiefs press box Friday and Saturday nights, and then called the game Sunday afternoon.
What?
Yep.
That's amazing.
How about that?
So this transaction actually took place last summer. He moved here or bought the house in August.
Over near Cheekwood.
Yeah. There's an article on the Nashville Post. Apparently they do a monthly breakdown. Headline Homes is what they call it. So from August of 2021, this transaction took place. I'm not going to read the guy's name, address. You can look it up if you want to. But bought the house for 3.7. The seller was Johan Victor Arvidsson. So Nance is the current owner of the home formerly owned by Preds forward Victor Arvidsson.
Oh, Los Angeles Kings forward.
Yeah. Yeah, current.
Current.
I said former.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
That he's in Los Angeles, though. It is what it is. You know, it's funny. Did you see the seller's name on this? Lisa Fernandez.
No relation to.
Yeah.
No.
Not the same one.
No, not the UCLA pitcher. Veteran national sportscaster Jim Nance is the buyer of this 5-bedroom, 6188 square foot home near Cheekwood Botanical Gardens. The seller is former Nashville Predators forward Victor Arvidsson, and because I am still very mad that Preds GM David Poyle traded Arvy to the LA Kings earlier this summer, I am not going to acknowledge this sale any further. So apparently, Megan selling Seling,
Big Preds fan.
It's a Preds fan.
Big Preds fan.
Yeah. So.
You know, one of the houses in this is actually was one of the buyer's agents is Megan Jones Campbell, who also was part of who was the kicker that we had from a couple years ago that was the veteran kicker that we brought in and was awful.
Dude,
the list is so long. Anyway,
yeah.
Megan Jones actually DJ'd her wedding. That was the one that our boy from Fairview, Chris Hughes officiated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he officiated her wedding and I DJ'd it. And she had the number 2. And matter of fact, it's in Fairview, Williams County Line Road. So anyway, Jim Nance lives in Nashville.
Jim Nance lives in Nashville.
Pretty cool.
As does everybody.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the NCAA and the transfer portal when we come back, Mo.
All right.
Let's do it. So we'll be right back. Chip Walters joins us in hour 2 and Top 5 Tuesday, most unique sporting event locations. Come back with us on Main Street Sports Today. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner. The look of a winner.
Second half here on Main Street Sports Today coming up. Little NCAA rule change conversation. Fake injuries? We'll talk about it. Chip Walters, MTSU, the Blue Red Network, joins us for his weekly visit. And it's Top 5 Tuesday, most unique sporting events. Stay tuned for that. All that coming up in the second half. Back to the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer and Sports Writer of the Year, Mo Patton, and the Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yeh.
Welcome back in. It is Top 5 Tuesday, and we are looking forward to that final segment where we get to talk about the top 5 most unique sporting event locations that we've ever seen. So, should be fun. I don't know if you guys have noticed, we have Mo and I are a little closer today. And after last night's show, we decided to make a little change. We kind of, I guess, sidewaysed the studio, and it's been a pretty cool experience. You can maybe see us a little better.
Yeah, I widened out to the full shot of the two of you.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see what we're looking at.
JP's computer screen is
You can see that.
still in the shot. So that kind of
right
tells
here.
you, yeah, it kind of tells you what's going on. And it's interesting. We have a Centennial football helmet,
CCCHS.
and you don't have you can't do a ding like JP does every time we mention Lawrence County. But if you would like your high school's helmet featured here on Main Street Sports Today, just let us know. We'll come pick one up and throw it on there randomly.
Now you realize what you just committed to, right?
Us coming to pick it up.
You going to pick it up? Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, a nice trip to Portland is, still a nice trip to Portland.
Grab some strawberries while you're up there.
I mean, it's a little day trip. Speaking of day trips, I don't know if you're still planning on going to Atlanta this weekend, but either this weekend or next.
Yeah, we're kind of running out of time.
We're going to Atlanta. I don't know when it's going to be, but got to go get our picture took with the trophy, the commissioner's trophy.
Little hardware.
Well, hardware.
Just
yeah.
what is it he said when the Astros won it and the backlash from that? Just a piece of metal or something?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's not a piece of metal.
No.
Not to us.
No, not if we're willing to drive 4 hours to get a picture made with it. So,
That's right.
Yeah.
So yesterday I ran across a tweet from Lane Kiffin quote tweeting an article saying that the NCAA was potentially looking at cracking down on fake injuries that slow down high pace offenses. And
he's here for it. Was the
whatever he said,
the tone of
yeah,
the tweet.
He essentially said, "This sounds like a great idea, NCAA. You know what? Don't make me come over there, because I will drive to Summerton, Alabama, and I will then take Highway 78 all the way to Oxford and drive the scenic route just so I can be angrier when I get there. Don't make me, Lane. You've seen what we're capable of.
You wanna?
We have burned couches in your honor. We have turned over cars. We have thrown mustard bottles onto the playing surface of Neyland Stadium.
And golf balls.
We are not above driving to Oxford, Mississippi. So don't come at us. Stop. Get some help.
Do you think he might just be trolling?
That's exactly what he's doing.
There you go.
And he better stop. For them tweets bite off more than he can chew. That's all I'm saying.
Lane going Lane, man.
He is. And, that's one of the reasons I like Lane Kiffin is because of his trolling nature.
Lane Kiffin is what Steve Spurrier would have been if Twitter had existed.
Sure.
During his heyday.
Except Lane doesn't have. Lane pretends to love everybody instead of pretending to hate everybody.
I don't think Spurrier pretended to hate anybody. He was just blunt when he, you can't spell citrus without UT and free shoes U and all that other thing.
Sure.
I did love hating ass Spurrier though on I can't remember who that was, but they did a weekly like newsletter of spoofing everything that Spurrier hated.
Well, and he did a great job, and Lane does. Lane kind of has that personality, and that's something the SEC needs, because there's a lot of business-like coaches in the SEC, right?
Yeah.
You got to have somebody who doesn't take themselves too seriously, and at this point, Lane really doesn't. I think Lane Kiffin embodies Ole Miss and their false sense of self-worth, and he's like, look, we're the underdogs. Nobody thinks that we're capable of this because of all the things that have happened in our past. And he really embraces that. So I ain't mad at him. I just like to give back what he dishes out.
Absolutely. Spencer Hall at EDSBS every day should be Saturday was where Hayden ass Spurrier generated from. And if you just Google that, you'll be glad you did if you missed it in the mid 2010s, basically. It's good stuff.
If the NCAA is able to do something about those type of, I don't like to say fake injuries because not all of them are fake,
but
the ones that are fake, if there's a way to combat that,
I don't know how you how do you decide which ones are fake and which ones aren't? I mean, are you going to put that in the hands of the officials as if they don't have enough to screw up?
I think my solution is the only solution that they can possibly
have.
Of
course. This guy, what is your solution?
The one where if you have to stay out for
a period of time.
Just like if you get hurt and come off the field, you have to stay off for one play. I think that should be longer in the event of, I guess the problem is, how do you determine
how long?
Well, how do you determine when that happens? Like if they're in no huddle, what if they're, how do you determine, okay, well, they're in hurry up. Well, you have to then determine they're in hurry up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something else to put on the officials.
There's a lot of subjectiveness to this. And, are you in hurry up? Are you not? Tennessee's in hurry up 60 minutes.
Even if they huddle, they're in hurry up.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think if there's a way to, and maybe it's under a certain time period. Maybe it's under 5 minutes.
Inside the last 5 minutes.
Or something like that.
Real quick.
The two quarterbacks from Oklahoma will both be playing at USC this season on opposite ends of the country. Caleb Williams announced he's going to USCW after Spencer Rattler going to USCE.
Did we ever really think Caleb Williams was going anywhere other than Southern Cal?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. But he and Tom Brady have made things official today, apparently.
It's official.
Yeah.
Official.
Official.
All right. When we come back, we've got Chip Walters. We're going to talk Middle Tennessee State. I guess we'll talk hoops. Big win.
Oh, yeah. Big wins.
Big wins over
but one
WKU.
One on the road. So, yeah, we'll be talking hoops.
We'll get to all of that and more right after this. So stick around on Main Street Sports Today from the Lee Company studio. Back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Oh, welcome back. It is Main Street Sports today, live from the Lee Company studio. We are excited for this Tuesday because a ton of great high school action tonight, including that District 10A match down at Santa Fe tonight between the Richland Raiders and the Santa Fe Wildcats. That boys game is going to be phenomenal. Ravenwood at Columbia Central. I will be there. We will have coverage from Columbia Academy and Grace Christian. All of that on MainStreetMurray.com and MainStreetPreps.com. So make sure that if you are looking for Southern Middle Tennessee sports coverage, you are looking at MainStreetMurray.com. And we should have some papers out in racks today. So for tomorrow.
You better get them quick, apparently.
Yeah, they go by pretty fast.
They get gone.
I was able to grab 4 from 10 Pin Alley from this week before those got janked. Cool. So that was good. But yeah, better grab them if you can. Mo, pretty big weekend for your boys in blue.
Well, let's not overlook the ladies in blue, but yes, for the boys in blue in particular, it was big because it was at the other end of the 100 miles of hate that the Blue Raiders came up with a big win at EA Diddle Arena against the hated Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky. And joining us is the guy who was on the call for that game, the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters. Mr. Walters, how much fun?
Boys.
How much?
How are y'all?
How much fun was that Saturday night?
Well, you know, I'll say this: that I probably have of other schools in the league, probably have as many long-standing friends that work in the athletic department, and Randy Lee, who does their radio and stuff. But as you know, as I've always said, when you play your rival and you win, it should feel a little better than just a win. And if you lose, it should hurt a little better than just a regular loss. And I think that's, you know, part of the emotional investment you have in it. And yet, I mean, and it's also when you go to Diddle and win, and the excitement level that you have, you know, it's a level of respect for what they have had over time. You know, this past Saturday, Middle was just the better, deeper team. Right now, Western's going through some stuff. They've got a couple of guys hurt, a couple guys who are that are not around for some whatever reasons may be, and so they're down to playing just 6 or 7 guys, and when Middle shoots the three enough that, you know, they just don't have enough guys to chase you right now. And then Middle's playing about 11 guys, and defensively they just, you know, did a nice job of wearing Western down offensively, and they got the lead at 16-14 on a 3-point shot and never gave it up. But there were a couple times in there where you knew there was going to be a run somewhere, and Western hit 3 straight threes at one point, cut it down to 5 maybe, and it was one of those like, oh, you can hear this place kind of getting loud. And I've seen that movie before, and most of the time it doesn't end well. But in this case, you know, Josh Jefferson continued to be just unconscious on the day, hit 7 threes, and he probably, I think, was probably the guy that he and Donovan hit a big 3 in there as well that you know, helped give Middle a little cushion exactly at the times that they needed. But yeah, just a big win, and to win the first 2 on this 3-game road trip with a trip down to Birmingham on Saturday is very, very big, because once you get past the UAB game, 6 of your next 8 are at home, because the 2 games that had been postponed have now been rescheduled, and it sets you up on those 2 weeks with, you've got 2 3-game homestands coming up. And so that's it. You know, you didn't want to have to postpone them, but the way that it worked out, it's going to help you on the back end of the schedule.
Chip, you mentioned Josh Jefferson. I think he finished with 31 points in that ball game. And it was a pretty special occasion for him, because apparently this was the first time his family had seen him play.
Not his entire family, but and he was on Coach McDevitt's show last night,
okay.
and he said that he said, you know, obviously there are certain, you know, a good chunk of his family members had seen him play, but there were a handful or more of family members, not even back through high school, had ever seen him play, and he won a state championship his senior year in Indiana, and so I mean, it's not like he's been on bad teams, but you know, he said it was he said he tried to get that out of his mind that they were there, but you know, he goes, every time there was a timeout and you walk toward the bench, there they are standing up, you know, over there and cheering, and he said it was very, very satisfying to have his family see him play the way that he did and shoot the basketball the way that he did and be as big a part in winning that he was on Saturday.
Well, they may want to see about getting them to more games.
Come on down to Birmingham on Saturday.
No doubt. Yeah. So, like you said, the New Albany, Indiana native started his career at Lakeland College in Illinois, played 1 year at Illinois State, transferred to Wisconsin Green Bay, and is now at MTSU and knocking down threes left and right. Been a great addition to the program, looks like.
Now, the western part of the Commonwealth has been good to him. He had 29 at Murray and 31 at Western. And like I told him on the post game, I said, if you're a middle player and you come to Diddle and put 31 down, that's what legends are made out of.
Yeah, that's legendary.
Yeah, well, and 29 at Murray ain't no slouch either. So yeah, that's pretty nice little run there in the western part of the Commonwealth, as you said. Are there any games in Owensboro set for MTSU?
No, not playing Kentucky Wesleyan this year.
Okay, nothing in Paducah.
No games with Brett. Well, we've already played Brescia, and I'm sure he had a pretty good day that day. But you know, this team is playing with just a hungry level of confidence. You know, humble and hungry is kind of their little in-house mantra. But you mentioned the Lady Raiders; they just absolutely put a hobnail boot on Marshall last Thursday night. Marshall came in 6-1, and Middle beat them by 39. They end up beating Western handily, who was undefeated in the league, and have gotten themselves right back into their game back in the loss column to Western in first place. They went from 5th to 2nd over the weekend, and then swept the Conference Player of the Week awards. So
that's one way to do it.
Coach Ensel's team is playing really well, and now they've got UAB at home on Saturday. So they feel that they're playing with a lot of confidence, and I'm telling you, the two Russian girls who won the award this week, they are really, really, really coming on and grasping. You know, I mean, I'm sure there's a bit of a language barrier between Russian and Cannon County, and from where that Rick speaks, but you know, they're coming on, and really, you know, they're and this is a tight group. They have each other's back. They enjoy being around each other, which is very nice to see. And so, you know, I think nobody's going to want to play them in the conference tournament, and that's just the way that Coach Ensel likes it.
Yeah, Chip, I want to go forward because, you know, the western part of the Commonwealth has been good to Middle. The eastern part was not great to UAB, and I don't know if this is where you want to be against a good UAB team coached by Andy Kennedy, them coming off a loss at Marshall.
Well,
big.
Exactly. And you know, and Tavion Kinsey didn't even play for Marshall the other night. And he is easily Marshall's best player. I was talking to your boy David Crane, and he said that it was not a happy bunch to be around Saturday night. So you're right, but you know, both teams are will get after it in practice this week. Obviously, you know, Andy's will not forget last Saturday, and those guys will want to prove a point back to him that, you know, they are still okay and good. And so, I mean, Middle will have to withstand some stuff from UAB on Saturday. That's for sure.
It's going to be a good basketball game. Obviously, UAB sitting in second in the West, Middle and atop the Conference USA East standings. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's not a position that Middle has been accustomed to either.
So this is exciting, man. This will be one of the best Middle UAB games that we've seen in a long time, as far as just pure talent and basketball players on the floor. And I'm certainly looking forward to keeping up with it. And I'll probably just be listening to you, Chip, because I don't really have much on the UAB radio front. Not a big fan, so.
Well, we'll always appreciate the extra listeners for sure. But before we got done today, just want to I'm not sure how much time we got, but I don't know if you saw today that Middle announced there was a change in the non-conference football schedule, that Missouri, who was supposed to be the opening opponent for Middle at home Labor Day weekend, bought out of that trip, paid Middle $800,000 to not come to Murfreesboro, and at basically a late date trying to find an opponent, they ended up with James Madison, who is obviously moving up, but it's going to be on the road, and James Madison.
So
James
instead
Madison, as far as a tougher opponent, you're probably right.
Yeah,
but James Madison's paying Middle $700,000 to come to Harrisonburg. But so now the non-conference schedule looks like this. It'll be road at James Madison, road at Colorado State, home for TSU, and then road at Miami. So all 4 non-conference games will be played in the month of September for the first time in a while, but that'll be the case. And still waiting for Conference USA to put out the conference schedule for everybody, and that'll be something. If you follow the Group of 5, that will be interesting to see when the Sun Belt and Conference USA put out schedules. Will both conferences put out schedules that include 3 of the same teams? We'll have to see.
So when you say Miami,
Because,
you mean Miami of Florida, not Miami of Ohio. Is that correct? Okay. All
correct.
Right.
Middle will actually play
dumb.
in the city of Miami twice this year.
Yeah, they're not dumb.
We'll play.
They're not going to go north when they can go south. You kidding me?
There you go.
We'll play at Hard Rock Stadium in the month of September against Miami, and then back to FIU in hopefully November. That's always a good time to go down there. September, October, not necessarily a great time to go down there because you're almost always going to get caught in a thunderstorm on a game day down there, especially if it's a day game in October. But there's still a game. But back to the scheduling part of it, the 3 schools, Marshall, Old Dominion, and Southern Miss, Conference USA has put out a statement saying they expect all 3 of those to live up to their contractual obligations and remain in the league until a year from now. And they all want to go. So Conference USA may put out a schedule as all 3 of those teams scheduled as if nothing had happened. And the Sun Belt may put out a schedule that has all 3 of those teams playing Sun Belt opponents, which that's when the lawyers get involved. and that will be a nice little, an interesting little subplot and soap opera to follow a little bit. So that's where that is.
There we go.
Captain Chaos is here for that. That would be fun for me anyway. It's not fun for you guys, I'm sure, but I will love it.
That kind of stuff.
He does.
I like everybody to be happy.
Yeah.
I like everybody to be happy. You like it when it's fruit basket turnover, Chris.
He does. He absolutely does. At every turn. Yeah.
Big fan of all the chaos, Chip, but also a big fan of you, and we appreciate you taking some time with us as always, man. We will talk to you next week.
Well, hello to everybody in the dimple.
I'm sure they're all saying hello to you.
Yeah.
Chip Walters, the voice of the Blue Raiders, joining us each and every Tuesday here at 3:00. If you want to get the latest in MTSU news, no better place to do it than right here.
Oh, by the way, Groundhog Day luncheon tomorrow at MTSU, where they celebrate the opening of baseball season. Ham hocks and white beans. Yeah. Get you some.
Delicioso.
There you go. Go to the website for more information. Go BlueRaiders.com.
When we come back, it's Top 5 Tuesday. Top 5 most unique sporting event locations. So stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun on Main Street Sports Today. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back. Top 5 Tuesday, Main Street Sports today. I got to give you this information.
Talk to me.
But we don't have time to talk about it because we have something to do. But we will definitely talk about this tomorrow. You might not have been ready to talk about it, but Ryan Flores was. He and his team have filed a class action lawsuit against the National Football League for violation of civil rights statutes or discrimination in regards to hiring and firing practices for coaches and executives. This is related to the Dolphins, Giants, and NFL as a whole. Come on.
Well, all right then. There it is.
It's about to go down. Oh, man.
Oh, Bryan Flores wants all the smoke, huh?
Yes, he does.
Every bit of it.
He does, in fact.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. This probably means that Bryan Flores will not coach again in the National Football League.
Well, it's a good thing the USFL exists. If he wants to coach, I mean, he can coach anywhere he wants. College, USFL, XFL. Hey, he's going to have plenty of money to do it if he wants to.
Yeah. Or to do nothing if he wants to.
Do whatever you want, buddy.
It'll certainly bear watching.
Yes, it will. We will talk more about it, I'm sure, throughout the week. Gosh. All right.
Or I'll talk more about it during the week
because
you'll be sitting over there coughing. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is Top 5 Tuesday. We have to talk about unique sporting event locations because tomorrow on the show, we have someone to talk about a unique sporting event location.
We do indeed. We have Ty Norris. Of who is
Chip Ganassi?
No. Hang on. Got it here. Trackhouse Racing is who he is with.
Formerly
Chip
Ganassi.
Yeah.
Racing. Yeah. That's what it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But longtime NASCAR mover and shaker, for lack of a better phrase.
No question. He will be on the show to talk about the Busch Clash that will be taking place at the LA Coliseum. So,
yeah, because that happens all the time. Stock car racing at the LA Coliseum.
It's a weird one, but here we go. Let's go. Top 5 most unique places that we have seen sporting events, not necessarily in person.
No.
We've seen them at their television. Just even I've not. My number 5, I never saw. That was the Daytona 500 that was on the beach.
On the beach.
That's
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Think
So,
about JP. What's your number 5?
That's a pretty good one, Chris. I'll piggyback on that one. Daytona 500 on the beach. That is pretty unique. I like that.
it's as unique as it gets.
Oh,
for-
so
for
what we're
racing.
saying is JP doesn't have a list.
It's gonna be. It's gonna come as we.
As we
Shift
go.
on the fly kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's right. Yeah.
My number 5 is college football game, Illinois and Northwestern at Wrigley Field.
That wasn't a bowl game.
No,
There is a Wrigley Bowl, or was a Wrigley Bowl, but that wasn't.
I don't know
one.
if there was a Wrigley Bowl. Obviously, there's a Fenway Bowl and a Pinstripes Bowl at Yankee Stadium. I don't know if
I
there's a
remember
bowl
watching
at
that game. That was
Yeah.
good. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me, 2004, Republican National Convention takes over the Garden and forces the New York Liberty to play in Radio City Music Hall. And that, if you've not
That
seen
was a-
pictures of it,
That was a neat event.
it actually is pretty cool.
Yep.
I wish we could see more of that. Anyway,
Let's see. I'll go with an outdoor hockey game. And really, any of them. Just the phenomena. Trying to think. The one where they had to move over to Lake Tahoe
yeah,
Was-
that was weird.
was pretty weird. They had some ice issues, if I'm not mistaken, for that one.
because it was too warm.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
I think
outdoor hockey game.
the
is a pretty
Big
good event.
House, when Michigan and Michigan State played in the Big House, is probably the most unique of the ones that I'd seen.
Mhm.
But of course, Cotton Bowl was cool because I was there.
My number 4 was the Yankees and Red Sox playing in London at a non-baseball facility, and they had to kind of rig some things to make that work. But yeah, that's my number 4.
My number 3 is North Carolina, Michigan State on the USS Carl Vinson.
That's pretty amazing.
The fact they played on an aircraft carrier is just ridiculous.
I
but
did not list that in my top 5 because I knew it was going to be on
Yeah.
yours, but that was pretty
pretty
interesting.
nuts.
Yeah, pretty nuts. I don't know what happens if a loose ball goes off the side.
Grab another one.
They got plenty.
Fish that one out.
The game at Wrigley, the football game at Wrigley Field, they've had more than one, but I believe the first one they were only able to kick a field goal or an
At
extra
one
point
end?
at one end, right?
Yeah.
That was the unique part about that one to me. So that's my number 3.
Wasn't it didn't the Bears and somebody play there back in the day? But that was when it was so far back when the goalposts were at the front of
Yes,
the end zone, so you didn't
Yeah,
have, you
so
didn't have
no
a
big
problem
deal,
there.
they had residents at Wrigley Field for a while.
Yeah, okay.
They did.
So my number 3 is that Detroit Shock New York Liberty game at Radio City Music Hall. And apparently, with there being a stage on one side, you could only seat spectators on one side
Correct.
for the ball game.
And
So
behind it, they had a huge video screen, so you could.
watch the game while you watch the game.
I think I think that was more for like effects and stuff, and it was really cool.
It was a neat thing.
All right.
My number 2, Bristol Motor Speedway, the largest crowd to ever watch a college football game. University of Tennessee and Virginia Tech.
That's a good one. I had forgotten about that.
It was a great one.
I had forgotten about that one. My number, the aircraft carrier basketball game is pretty spectacular
There you go.
for sure.
Spit that out.
Yep.
My number 2 was the Marlins and Braves playing at Fort Bragg,
Oh yeah,
where they had to literally make a field for them to play on. So
kind of like when the vintage baseball league just goes out into the middle of Ripavilla and
there we go. Yeah.
draw some lines out, and there it is.
Put some bases down, draw some lines. Let's play. Yeah.
Have you this isn't on my list or anything, but did you see where they played like a soccer match on a floating like island in a river?
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh, it was crazy. So like
floating island.
they built like a basically a boat.
Okay.
Like it just floated,
Yeah.
and they put a pitch on it.
Okay.
It was crazy. Like
Like a big barge or something. huh?
basically,
Yeah.
it was wild. But That's not on my list, but I wanted to throw that out there. My number one, I can't pronounce it, but it was in Dubai. Andre Agassi, Roger Federer on the helipad of, I think it's a hotel of some sort in Dubai. And the court was 1,053 feet in the air.
No, sir.
No, thank you.
No, sir.
Zero chance.
Not happening.
Oh, man.
Not never.
I'm with you,
As
man.
Cat Williams would
Not
say.
never.
Did they have room for fans up there for
No,
that?
no.
Okay.
It was just them.
Okay.
Anyway,
What, did they
that was,
build a cage or something?
I don't know.
I hope.
Go look at the pictures. It's not cool.
It's like basketball and tennis courts in New York City.
At least they
Yes.
got fences around them.
Yeah, surely
and I
they
guess
had.
this is it too. But
I'm sure there was a
It's
net. I
still-
don't think there was fencing. It was a net of some sort, but
Well,
I'm not trusting that
yeah.
net.
All right.
No.
My number one is the Major League Baseball game at the cornfield in Iowa last year.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. That was pretty remarkable.
Dyerville.
Mhm.
I've been there.
Really?
Of course, it was in the middle of March. Tennessee women were playing out at University of Iowa, and I
Okay.
took a trip over there. while I was
Detour?
out that way, yeah. So, my number one is Bristol, baby.
Oh yeah, that was the coolest thing, man.
Yep. Yeah. So
That's awesome. Well, there you go. That's our top 5 most unique sporting event locations. There you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. If you missed any part of it, the podcast is available. The video cast is available. You can go back and watch it. You can go back and listen to it at your leisure. Please do that. Tommy Bryan, Chip Walters, on your way to the ballgame tonight. If you're going up there into Wilson County, listen to the show as he gets you ready for that Devilettes and Lady Cavaliers basketball game. That's going to do it for today's Main Street Sports Today. For JP Plant and Mo Patton, I am Chris Yao saying have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.